Well, Matt on our show had the big V, vasectomy, and something your doctor said during your procedure made you very nervous.
Yep. We started off, everything was fine. I was watching college basketball on my cell phone while he was doing the procedure. He was asking me about the games and how they were going.
Okay.
Wow.
He was talking to me about everything, and then all of a sudden he got kind of quiet. I was like, well,
We can't find it.
Let me just keep reading here.
You have a vagina.
And the next thing I know, I hear him utter the word, crap.
Ooh.
Oh,
Right.
I want to hear that.
no way.
Oh, that's not good. So he had a hard time locating one of my, is it Vasdefrin? Is that what it's called?
Van's deference.
Yeah, he kept calling it the Vaz.
The Vaz.
Vaz.
The Vaz.
He had a hard time locating the left one. So much so that I was numbed,
How
so I
small
couldn't
is your
feel it.
ball?
Well, it's not the ball. He was already in the sack at this point, Jason. The problem was finding the tube.
The tube.
Oh.
Yeah, the tube.
He was having a hard time locating the tube because the way that it works is they make the hole, they reach in, they pull the tube out, snip it, cauterize both sides, and then put it back in there. He was having a hard time finding the tube to get it out, and so I can't feel anything, but I can just feel like tugging, like extra like pulling. And I'm like, oh, this is probably not going to feel good later once the anesthesia wears off. And I was right. Yeah.
It hurt, right?
Yeah,
afterwards?
that specific side of where he had a hard time locating the Vasectomy is still hurting.
How bad?
It's more of a real discomfort when I sit because I do feel like it's still swollen.
Oh.
And so it's, you're not used to
you're
it being that much bigger, so it's just hard to navigate. It hurt for a while kind of in my stomach where I felt like the pulling was coming from. And then
From Kermit.
I'm still kind of touchy when I talk about it.
Oh.
Where I felt like they were, that was very sore. But now it's just I do feel like it's still a little swollen, and that side specifically is sore.
How are you mentally? Is there any impact on the mental situation with this?
No,
Really?
no. Yeah, I mean, I currently don't have a desire to do it because it hurts.
Well, it's
but,
sore.
Yeah, because it's sore,
What
and there's
about-
still a stitch there.
Let me ask, when you were leaving the doctor's office or the medical center, was it a weird feeling like, that's it? No more kids?
No, not for me. Part of that, too, I think, is courtesy of my wife, who showed up to pick me up. And when I was checking out, I heard her in the waiting room go, I can't believe you did this without telling me first.
That's funny.
I was like,
That's funny.
Now's not the time or place.
That's a great joke.
Yeah, she nailed it.
Balls are swollen.
That's a great joke.
Great timing. Perfect. And so that was kind of distracting. But then I think it was because he was having such an issue finding that one. Because at one point, when he got quiet and he said, crap, I was like, oh, what? Everything all right? We good?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, he described it as playing cat and mouse with me.
Oh.
He said,
That's unusual.
he said, but I'm going to win. And I was like,
Okay,
this isn't a
that
game.
makes me nervous.
This isn't a game. But
He's like, crap, my bracket's busted.
clips and lost. But other than that, it was fine. Like I said, I was laying there. The nurse came in and prepped me, and she said, hey, I didn't realize I could have my phone. She goes, do you want your phone to watch basketball? And I was like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there watching basketball on my phone while he's down there just working, talking to me about.
Did you take the didn't they give you anti-anxiety medicine before you went in?
Yeah, I got a Xanax.
And how did that feel?
Felt amazing. Felt like a Xanax.
You get to zone out and watch
Yeah,
Obviously.
they
basketball.
took my blood pressure and they were like, "It's great." I'm like, "Of course it is. I have no care in the world." So I had that, and then just pain meds to kind of manage it after that. So I've been using those religiously,
Can
and
I
those are
ask-
great.
Well, what pain meds did you get? I didn't get any pain meds.
You didn't get pain meds?
No. They're like,
That's
take,
because
just take
Matt,
Tylenol.
That's because they couldn't find Matt's balls.
Oh, they had to
that's
pull
true.
on it.
Maybe
Yeah.
because they had to pull, I got some hydrocodone.
Oh.
Are you serious? They're
Yeah.
like, just take some Tylenol.
Oh no, I got prescription pain meds
No,
So
man.
they must have known because they had such a problem that it was going to hurt more.
because of the difficulty. I guess
Yeah,
they
maybe
gave
so.
it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
'cause
how, is this going to be a longer recovery now for you?
possibly he didn't specify. He was just like, just continue to ice and take it easy for the weekend. I said,
No problem.
got it. That's why I scheduled it for this weekend.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Now, so they didn't. So I was telling you they had to tape my wiener to my chest.
Oh, yeah.
And so, did they tape your wiener to your stomach?
No, I got like a weighted, I don't want to call it a blanket, but like a weighted towel
To just hold it up
keep
there?
it down?
to lay over it. Yeah. It was like a medical towel with like some weight to it. So instead of having to do the tape, they just kind of weighed it down with a towel.
Our experience was way different.
Yeah.
So were you laying down?
Yeah.
This
No,
sounds
see,
like
I wasn't.
a luxury spa
I know.
event that he
Wait a
went
minute.
to.
What?
Yeah, mine had like duct tape all on my chest and my wiener.
Whatever.
No, they taped my wiener to my stomach,
Uh-huh.
and I was sitting like kind of reclined.
Oh, no, I was laying flat on my back.
And then I forgot to,
Interesting.
because I canceled my appointment the year before, and they had already sent me the pill. I just forgot to get the pill.
Oh, you didn't take the
So
medicine.
Your Xanax.
So the Xanax. So I'd had the gas, which kind of halfway worked for me. I don't think I was doing it right.
I
But,
didn't feel any pain or anything.
I felt a pinch.
The only pain I felt, I will say, when they did the local anesthetic, the
Yes.
injection, you feel a little bit of a pinch there. But
How
other than
bad?
that, I didn't feel any pain.
How bad was that?
No worse than a shot.
Jason,
Ooh, I hate shots.
It's just a pinch.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
don't
a
like that.
pinch, and then it's done. And then they do the
Wuss.
whole thing. They sew it up. I mean, the even while he was trying to fish it out of there, I didn't feel that. I felt what he was doing, but there was no pain associated with it.
You just feel a tug. You
Yeah,
feel the tug.
it's almost like somebody's like pulling on your shirt, and I could feel him doing that. I asked him once. That was the first side too. He goes, "All right, let me do the other one," and I was like, "You think the problem's gonna happen over there too?" He said, "Let's hope not." No,
You just watch
Jokester.
your basketball.
so were your
Jokester.
legs up?
No, my legs were
Straight down.
straight down.
You're laying
but
this-
he asked me to kind of pull my legs kind of together because he kind of used my knees and the towel that was over my knee to kind of help hold some of his tools.
I can see that.
Was yours like in a barn?
No, it was a
You use your
urologist's
knees to
office.
hold the tools.
I could see, like, you have it right there, instead of a.
Yeah, I mean, he had his tray in front of him, but he
Oh,
was like,
gosh, I
it's
thought he was like-
easier if it's right here.
The
Yeah.
scalpel's like bouncing on your kneecap. I'm
He
like,
said
I don't know.
if it's comfortable enough, if you can kind of put your knees closer
Got you,
together
got
so
you.
that I can rest like my clamp here so that when I need it, it's right here versus having to reach up.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. Okay.
a easier access for him. I was like, sure, no problem.
Okay.
I'm watching basketball. I feel great.
And then mine was like, you can ice if you want, you don't have to. That's like not. It's like a miss only if you need as needed.
He told, and I do think it's because he knew that I was going to be more
Yeah.
sore after that
yeah,
issue.
that's true. That is very
Mhm.
true.
Can I ask about the swelling? Because I do have a question about the swelling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking, let's go fruit here.
Mhm.
Are we talking like normally the size of a peach,
Mm-hmm.
maybe to an orange?
Mm.
Or are we talking,
Well, mine are cantaloupes, and so it went to like a watermelon size.
okay, no one's impressed with the size of your balls except for dudes.
Well, actually, no, they're not. It's
Okay,
we're
actually
not.
gross.
because women are like, that's
Guys
not
with
hot.
Yeah.
big sack, that's like weird. It's like, what's wrong with you?
No woman is like, God, the size of his sack was so hot.
Yeah, I think
No.
you go like the testicle size would be more like a little bit bigger than a golf ball, each of them.
Yeah, I think it
Okay.
because it's not like the whole sack is swelling up. It's like the individual
Yes.
So from,
one is swelling up. So I would
That's
say
a-
maybe going from like a cherry to like a strawberry.
okay, so not like enormous, but
I can
enough
still
to feel it.
Yeah,
You
I
can
can still
feel
fit
it
it in
and
my
see
pants.
it. Yeah.
That's a
Yikes.
plus.
But
Yeah.
he did encourage me to wear like compression underwear
So
to
they don't move
keep
around.
it from moving around
I can
as
see
much.
that.
Is that the compression underwear that's like more tighter?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it keeps them together so it keeps them from jostling.
Same after you give birth, you want something that's really going to hold everything in. You know
Yeah,
what I
that
mean?
makes
Just
sense.
like make so it's not rattling around.
The one I was reading here, I guess both you guys got the more modern procedure.
Yes.
It's called. It says 2 to 3 days you can return to work and resume to normal exercise routines within 7 days. Do you feel that? Well, you don't exercise, so never mind. It's going to be hard to ask you a question.
Well, so we had a t-ball practice over the weekend, and I was very cautious at that. Like I didn't want to like run around with the kids or do anything. I just kind of stood there.
You can't squat though. I wouldn't
Yeah,
squat.
I would. I didn't want to squat. I don't want to squat.
I don't either. I don't ever want to squat.
Mm-mm,
Just
no.
in general.
Yeah.
But I think in a couple days I'll probably feel up to doing something like that. It's just right now the thought of like jogging and having them like move
Yeah,
at all
exactly.
feels painful.
And let me ask you, sexy time. It says within a week you can have sexy time again. Do you feel that's going to be the case, or you think no, it's going to be longer?
I think as long as it's again right now to me the painful part is when it like sways back and forth a lot. So I'd rather it kind of stay still.
What swaying
At
do
the-
you got?
My
Does
ball
that
sack,
happen
Jason.
a lot?
That's mine
When
don't
you're walking, they sway.
If
you're wearing, like-
bump into something, if you're wearing like loose
Yeah.
boxers,
Oh, you wear boxers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you're wearing
got it.
Interesting.
yeah. I'm naked a lot.
That's
Yeah, it's
true.
true. So
Yeah.
that's- yeah.
He gets home and gets naked.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a woman who's like never worn a bra. Like their boobs are going to sag more,
They,
right?
Yeah.
You could.
A little bit they could because they
Depends.
never have support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could.
Okay.
So that's the thing. I don't want to do anything that's going to cause them to like bump into my thigh or something.
Sure.
Now sleeping, I felt sleeping was odd because you like turn over to the side, you realize, man, your junk gets in your way a lot.
You're
Yeah,
crushing it.
I'm forcing myself to sleep on my back.
Yeah, that's the best. Good call.
Thank God you have the CPAP.
Yeah.
I know. Otherwise, I'd be doomed.
Yeah.
I would take it easy. I wouldn't rush any of that stuff because
No, yeah.
everyone I know that did rush it, they had major problems.
Yes, like
Yeah.
Jason's friend who like became emotional after,
Oh,
which
yeah,
has not
he
happened
had-
to anybody else
Well,
ever.
he got emotional in before, during, and after, and then even up until probably a couple months ago, he got over it.
We said that there had to have
There's
been something else going on.
there.
Yeah.
Really?
So I
Yes.
haven't heard that from
The
anybody.
physical procedure did not cause him to become an emotional.
Right. There's no
wreck.
change. Yeah.
No.
Well, he felt like, like a dog being neutered. But
Was
basically,
he forced into it? Was it like
No.
court ordered?
Well, again, that's psychological. Yeah, that's psychological and has nothing to do with the actual.
it was a psychological
Yeah.
thing for him. And then also because the next day, which he was supposed to take it easy, and he acknowledged that, he was having a sleepover with our kids were having sleepovers, and he decided to tell them they was going to make a tent in the backyard with a fire. But then here I am loading firewood with him.
No, it's
Which
like
you
hor- that's
shouldn't.
the-
Yes,
So
that's
That's one
dumb.
thing they said. Don't lift anything. Really.
Yeah.
And it's not it's not the actual procedure that caused him. It's that he
Didn't
has
follow.
other issues. Like he's dealing with the fact, maybe as Jared has said, it's the finality of
So,
it.
oh yeah, I'm not gonna have kids.
yeah, I mean
this is
that's separate.
it. I mean, there's reversal, but I've read that's not great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I had a friend that Kevin that was Stoke Ridge, and he said he got called. He owned it, and so some people called out. I was like, I'll just go in and do dishes, and he said it was like a grapefruit. It swole up, and it was so
oh my
bad.
gosh.
He was like, do not. He said, other than that, it was easy. He said, do not make the mistake I did and start trying to do anything. Listen to your doctor. I'm like, yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been like, doctor doesn't know.
No, I listen to the
Yeah,
doctor.
I try to listen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Matt. So
I still recommend it. Absolutely.
What is it? How many? 3 months? Then you go back.
3
in?
months, I
3
go
months?
back and I give a sample to see if there's any living and if it took.
Yeah.
This does not make me feel better. I am more now not to do it, and maybe if at some point I can bribe Carol to do it.
what? So
Hasn't she done enough? She's
What?
given birth 3 times. It's your turn.
she moved back in with you for crying out
Yeah,
loud.
for
Give her-
crying out loud.
throw her
It's
a
your
bone.
turn.
I am. I said I was going to bribe her.
Yeah. You're the same kind as like when women take birth control, you're like, oh, psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
You know-
her fault that she's taking a million hormones that alter. Yeah.
That's not-
psycho.
did I say that? No, I
Maybe
did
not on
say-
the air.
But Katie, come on. What I'm going to, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to dangle Botox shots in front of her. She loves Botox.
This is
And then
because
I'm gonna
you
say,
can't handle
you're exactly
a
right.
minor procedure.
It's not that minor. I just don't like it.
It's pretty minor.
It
Jason,
doesn't sound minor to me.
Well,
No, I mean,
Jason,
like-
here's my concern for you. If they go in and they're like, oh, it's in your tummy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
We're going to
the
have to
thing.
really go fishing for this thing.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about because and for people that don't know, I have a little issue where sometimes the ball goes up too high and literally have to press it down to get it back down into the sack area. Okay,
His
it's not
tummy,
funny.
as he says. Sorry.
It could actually be a very dangerous thing if it ever got strangled. And he
Oh, yeah,
said,
twisted
the doctor
testicle.
Yeah.
said he would know. I would be in enormous pain. Like I couldn't even move. I would have to call the rescue. And that's what you're scaring me is that they couldn't find Matt's balls.
No, they
And-
did. They knew exactly where
They
his
knew where the
balls
balls
were.
were. It was the Vince Defrin.
That
Yeah.
part. And that could definitely happen to me. And then I don't want that.
You know, for somebody who is that afraid of strangling your ball, you do a lot of fidgety walking back and forth. You run. You're doing like so. I don't think you're really that concerned about it.
I'm concerned. I'm
I don't-
stressed out now, and I'm not even
Yeah.
getting it done. I just don't know what to do.
Let's, as we say, pump the brakes, Jason,
Mm-hmm.
on a lot of things. Because one, a month ago, you didn't want to get it because you could maybe find a young person and get pregnant. And now you're back with Carol, and you're like, well, that's not going to happen. So just wait.
Yeah.
Well,
Just wait.
I've realized that when it was in a separation area, that most of the other separatees didn't want any more kids because all they already had the kids. They all had
You
kids.
were already talking about children.
No,
with
He
the-
moves fast.
No, but I could tell. You
It's
could tell.
efficient.
Got it.
He did it on his
Got it.
his dating profile.
At the same time, what has happened was sexy time. This is a little personal, but sexy time, which was lacking probably for the last couple of years in our marriage, even though I'm really good at it. Quick, but really good.
Efficient.
Yes.
As long as she has a tool by her side.
When we separated, she stopped taking birth control after 20 years or more. And all of a sudden, that changed everything. And to my surprise, what she at least is saying is that she's more all of a sudden into it. And she was shocked to see how much more into it and how much more she wanted it. And she couldn't believe it when she would hear like Katie talking about you and Ben doing it all the time. She's like, how? And now all of a sudden she's like, oh my gosh, I feel different. I guess it was because of the hormones.
Yeah,
so she's not taking it, and I don't want her to take it because I want that to continue without the pregnancy. So yeah,
So it is on you.
It's in a tough situation. Well, there's different things, but yeah, we're in a tough situation.
Sounds to me like it's on you.
My procedure was painful for me. It just but now that I did it, I mean, it's like literally the next day I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Or 2 days later I'm like, don't care.
In the moment, it's painful, and then you get over it.
I mean, they do these all day, every day, you know, and everyone's body's more sensitive or whatever. And
Well, Jason will have it done, and then it will be no one's ever had it done before, ever in the
do you
history
know
of
this thing called
Jason's
Van
life.
deference?
Yes, we talked about it at length.
I think it's called Vasectomy. I'm like, no, okay.
There's this procedure that they do.
I would only do it if you're sure you're not gonna have more kids. If you're sure, then I'll do it. If you're not, if you're like even 5%, you might have more kids.
No,
then don't
no,
do it.
I am not 5%. I'm 99.9% do not want any kids.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a chance.
So you're saying
I'm saying if all of a sudden
Little
if
bit.
something happened and Margot Robbie all of a sudden wanted me, I don't know.
No. she won't.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. 99.9999999.
okay.